All right, welcome to today's Dealer Teamwork Product Overview webinar. Thank you for everybody who has shown up, and we might get some late stragglers. I got a couple messages coming in to me. So this session today, we are very excited about this. It's going to be packed with a bunch of educational and very valuable information. So to help you learn just a little bit more about all the exciting new stuff that we've been releasing, we're really excited about this. Again, cool new features that we put in, and share a little bit more information about our patented digital marketing platform. So before we begin, just a couple standard housekeeping items. All attendees are obviously muted. You can ask questions at any time. Use the chat feature. Today's session will be recorded. There will be a link for everybody to, if you want to see the presentation on demand as well. Again, please share any additional comments, and let's just jump right into this. Okay, James, you ready? So, again, today's host, obviously myself, Eric Milch. I'm the co-founder, one of the co-founders of Dealer Teamwork, also the director of marketing. And I also have with me today is James Klaus. James is just one of the greatest people in the industry, in my opinion. He's our chief sales officer, and you'll hear a lot about his experience and his stories as well, using the platform as a former dealer. So today's agenda, very simple. Let's just jump right into this.
Perfect. So what are we going to cover today? Our agenda is slated with what you see on the screen. However, if you've ever met myself or Eric or been on any type of Dealer Teamwork presentation in the past, you know that anything can happen and any topics can come up randomly, and we're always prepared for that. So Eric, why don't you start us off and just jump right into it?
Awesome. Thanks, James. So we've got, again, there's so many updates that we've done recently. We've got some really major ones. We will highlight 6 things here and cover on these items here. We've got new car automation we're going to share. We've got the used car automation updates that we've done recently. We've got some great things coming with the incentives and disclosures and the automation involved with that. We've made some significant reporting improvements, both internal and external as well. Some exciting behind-the-scenes things that just help with that automation are going to include what we call the vehicle rate table. And we've got obviously some really new exciting things that we've done with the updated interface, just the user interface and the user experience, just to really update things. Again, we're relatively new, but we've got so much new things that we've updated into the platform as well. So we're really excited about that. So where is, let's talk a little bit about today's situation and what's happening. It's crazy out there. Dealers over the last 20, 30 years obviously have always been forced to weather a lot over history, but obviously nothing like what we've experienced today, between the oil crisis of the 70s, the recession in the 80s, financial crisis in the 90s, and even the light depression in the early 2000s. There was always something that stood in their way, but they managed to work through it. So the same mindset is present today, though, as dealers try to navigate through the confusion that we've got with the virus. So, James, why don't you share, what are dealers experiencing now, and what do you think this is like for them, based on what you're hearing from the dealers that you talk to every day?
Absolutely. Well, the first thing I hear from most of the dealers I speak with is, how are we going to rebuild? How much of my staff am I going to how much am I bringing back? What do I have to do to my showroom today to make it, acceptable for the modern shopper, right? Dealers are going to have less resources than they've ever had before coming out of this. And that's going to require them to get better support, better guidance, and better recommendations from us at Dealer Teamwork and their other trusted providers in their network.
Yeah, so in terms of this feedback that we've got, we're trying to really drive it home in terms of understanding what dealers need, and everything that we keep hearing, and I'm sure you guys are on the webinar today, you're feeling probably the same way, in terms of you need to know, are you using the right tools at the proper times? Are things set up the right way? Are things being used to their full extent? Are you using everything the way they should be? And again, is it being managed properly? And again, where is the reporting? What does this all mean? So, what are the results that help improve the business? That's the key thing. James, when you were a Ford dealer, what was the best thing that your vendors did for you? What did your really good vendors do for you?
Well, my best vendors, Eric, and that's a great question. They gave me guidance and support. They helped me solve problems, and they did this as a collaborative partner. It was one of the key reasons why I joined Dealer Teamwork. And I'll tell a quick story. When I first was a dealer using the MPOP, Sean, our CEO, Sean Stapleton, called me and said, James, I don't feel like you're maximizing your F-350 campaigns. And I said, Sean, what do you mean? And he goes, you don't have leases created, you don't have the APR up, etc. And I said, Sean, the lease rate and the lease factors on an F-350 aren't very good right now. And Sean, as a trusted partner, said to me, James, why don't you try taking all available rebates on an F-350 and then call US Bank or Cap One or whoever and see what their lease rates are on the F-350. Well, I did that, and the next thing you know, I was leasing more 1-tons than I'd ever leased before.
That's great. That's a great story. So again, it just comes down to being able to make better decisions. The guys on the call, you guys all have hard-earned money. You want to know really, how well is this being spent? That's where the key is.
Yeah, and dealers, they want to make better marketing decisions, Eric. They have a lot of ideas. Some are really good ones. Some are really bad ones. The problem is they don't know which ones they should go with because they don't have all the right data. They don't have all the right facts to make these right decisions. They want our help. Dealers don't want to have any regrets when they make a decision. But unfortunately, taking no action can be just as bad, if not worse, because they could be losing out on opportunities. Eric, what type of bad decisions did you see your dealership leadership team making?
Yeah, I saw it all the time, and it was so frustrating. Yeah, I saw a lot of big money being spent on email marketing campaigns that had no accountability whatsoever. The other side of it was just the paid search campaigns, or having multiple vendors running paid search campaigns that just simply focused in on the wrong metrics, and they could never really show their true contribution. That was the most painful part. Dealers share their weekly and their monthly goals with us all the time. And our job obviously is to make sure that those ad budgets are being spent on the best actionable items possible. Again, why was the decision made? How will it be spent? Where will it go? What tactics are being used? Those types of things. James, give me an example of a monthly objective your store would have, and how you would, how did you plan on achieving those goals from your campaigns with your vendors?
No, absolutely. So I had monthly goals on sales expectancy, on the number of, ROs I wanted to run through my service department. And I relied on trusted partners like Dealer Teamwork to, help me with these types of things. Yes, some dealers do try to take on these responsibilities internally. Unfortunately, that would have been really hard for me to do. I would have missed opportunities. And some of my dealer partners, they rely on a fragmented approach with multiple vendors involved. And a lot of times when that happens, Eric, control gets lost. Speed to market becomes an issue. And ultimately, accountability is hard to have with that many people involved. And then ultimately also showing ROI was always a consistent problem. So, Eric, what is our dev and what does our product teams learn?
So great question. So we've learned some really, really key things by analyzing well over 1 million different campaigns over the last year and a half. And there's 4 main points here that I'll drive home to everybody, and then we'll dive into what this turned into for us and how this impacts your business and your usage with our platform. So first off, we identified this category called unspecified search activities. These unspecified searches, these are things like, Ford dealer near me. We don't really know what that intent is. And what we found was these are actually driving some of the best conversions and ROI, even though we can't assume what their intent actually is. And then we learned a lot how these play into the OEM programs that we work with. And obviously they have a heavy focus in on these outcomes that really just typically are not formulated into any type of transactional data or any specific pricing. So, James, what did how did you always view that type of search, that unspecified search, when you didn't have that intent built into it?
That was a tough one, Eric. So, that type of search phrase, or those type of search phrases, they've always been considered high funnel or sometimes even not very specific. So it's hard to guess the intent. What do they want? What are they shopping for? Is it a new vehicle? Is it a used vehicle? Are they just trying to schedule a service appointment with me?
Yeah, you're exactly right. So, again, next we learned how these outcomes play out and how we could potentially improve, from there. So that moves us into the next section. James, should share a little bit about some of that in terms of what we know we need to do with the platform.
Well, we discovered ways to automate additional processes within the platform, and those additional automated processes, they'll make it even faster and allow it to do even more. A more efficient platform can build more ad campaigns even faster and drive even better results for our dealers.
Nice. And then, from there, we just understood the real simple fact that the platform needs to essentially support larger volumes of even more accurate and specific campaign content. And while we do that, it just makes it even easier to pull more data from these campaigns. So those are some of the key points, everybody, that we really want to touch on in terms of what we learned. And that leads us into essentially where we're headed. And so this is what we're really, really excited about. So we want to be able to show more prices in those unspecified, the unspecified search segment that we defined. And so by doing this, we're going to be able to create more interest, and we're going to be able to essentially create the intent instead of waiting for it. And so by doing this now allows us to leverage this unspecified traffic segment to convert all this activity into more data. And obviously being able to pull out more data allows us to be able to create and understand, create more understanding around these potential trends. And then that leads us just being able to share with our clients and all the other dealers out there in terms of what are the actual insights from this. And by creating more data from this, we now have the ability just to be able to make faster and more specific decisions, especially as we start to understand more and more that this unspecified traffic segment actually has so much more power than anybody actually ever really imagined it having. And again, this just allows us to be able to create more optimized content for every type of ad campaign that we've got in there. James, as a dealer, what was your favorite acronym? What did you live by?
Yep, it wasn't SEO, SEM, PPC, or any of that. It was DISC. Does it sell cars? That was all I was interested in knowing. And if that data can help me spend my ad budget smarter, drive more sales opportunities, then guess what? I'm all in. And lastly, this leads us towards a more flexible and stable platform environment that builds and supports better content that shoppers, search engines love to see. More specific ads, better conversion tactics, better search results will help shoppers take better actions that we as dealers want to see.
You're spot on, James. So we're really excited about this momentum that we've got, everybody. We're super excited to share these things. And keep in mind, these are all things that are, again, happening behind the scenes. That's the whole focus here with regards to the marketing automation concept. Just being able to build this stuff a little bit faster, more robust. Again, changing the content structure so we can create more engagement, and then provide you guys with more, better reporting, and then just again going deeper into these trends, both on a micro level with your store and your campaigns, but also in terms of regional and national data type of situations as well. So we listen to all of our dealers. We want to get more feedback from everybody, and our ultimate goal was we just wanted to be able to get more content into the ads. It's not just about publishing it onto the website. It's about obviously where we can get these, this content updated, into more and more places to be able to help the dealers. So while we're always pushing these out, like I said, there's, these are the three big items. There's a lot of behind the scenes activity happening. So we're going to cover real in depth here, just the topics in terms of, just the type of activity that we've got, automated new car payments, and incentives, and the compliance element of it. And again, being able to scale these items, and then being able to share more of the features in terms of the reporting tools. So we're really, really excited about that. James, you want to walk us through a little bit of some of the back end items on this as well?
Absolutely. So right here, this is our automated new car builder, and this is going to give us current offers. It's going to recalculate buy prices when we're looking at your new inventory feeds and any type of pricing changes that went in there. And it's going to help us have a more scalable technology solution in the long run. It's just going to drive more ads and help dealers more. And then we also rolled out our new reporting platform. And our new reporting platform, it makes it easier for campaign management across all a dealer's marketing channels. As a dealer, I needed simplicity. What's being spent, which channels are working, what isn't working, what should we do? Easy to understand and see. Better data, better info, and better results equals less waste, and better decisions and faster decisions, Eric.
Awesome, James. For anybody that's listening and watching today, if you have not seen this yet, please reach out to your account manager, and we'll make sure that you have access to this. You're seeing this, and obviously it's a part of your conversations. These are really, really important. We're excited about all the new features that we've got in here in terms of the level of data that we can pull out, so we can see these items even faster. And be able to guide you guys in terms of every channel, because this is what is really, really needed right now in today's time. So this is really, really exciting, and this is something that we're really, really proud of as well, in terms of this level of insights that we can get in there.
So Eric, let me now talk about why we built the MPOP. So first, what is the MPOP? The MPOP is a merchandising, personalization, optimization platform. Why did we build it? We built it to allow our dealers to cope in the modern ecosystem. What does that mean? Cope. Create once, publish everywhere. So we created a platform that allows us to create content once, create offers once, and then publish it to multiple channels: Facebook, Instagram, paid search, organic results, email campaigns, video, YouTube, etc. And that's what the MPOP's really all about, Eric.
So let's take a look real quick as in terms of what these old processes were, and really how they failed to deliver the results that dealers need to be successful. So here's a common scenario, and I'm sure some of you guys on the call might have experienced this, or you might experience it currently. So aged units, unfortunately, get pushed to a standard generic specials page. I like to joke that these are special to the dealer, not necessarily the customer. Unfortunately, they may just be old, and maybe they weren't managed properly from a pricing standpoint. But the bigger picture here is the page itself isn't optimized for search or even for conversion opportunities. And then the process to access the information, to get that information on the page, you've got old school website banners, you got some artwork, or even just really non-specific information. And again, this is very costly. It's not rich content. Again, the limited conversion opportunities, and oftentimes it just takes a little bit too long to get published. So you got dark to market issues. And then lastly, I like to call this a dead-end distribution or a dead-end page. There's no multi-channel or omni-channel type of approach or integration, so we don't have the ability to publish this. Again, as James said, publish once, create once, and publish everywhere. And there's no additional data available for that. So let's walk you through just some real quick examples. This is a search that I actually did here in Rochester, New York. So we see this, we don't really know what they want, but yet this random ad popped up. And again, there's no offers, no prices, no opportunity to, for additional conversion, and no logical reason why this ad itself or why this vehicle was chosen. Then this is where I wound up landing on on the search results page. And again, if I really wanted to, if I in fact was looking for something even more specific, a different model or trim, I'd have to refine my site search itself, go to a different page. Maybe I even, they risk the bounce, or I wind up just getting to a generic, again, a generic specials page with just a standard banner without the actual pricing information. And again, this is just a slower, older school type of mentality and process. So we wanted to fix that.
Yeah, so here's another example, Eric, of just a not relevant, right? So I Googled F-150 lease and I come up with a good paid search ad. But unfortunately, it had nothing to do with leases. It had to do with 0% for 84 months. But what the heck? 0% for 84 months still sounds like a good deal. So I clicked on it to learn more. Then I landed on a great deal on any Ford vehicle. Sorry, we don't have any of those, which led me to bounce and was not relevant to my search. So I had two options there. I could click this ad and find good content and try to convert, even though it wasn't relevant, or I could just leave. I took option B and just left. So the MPOP was built, Eric, to help solve some of the biggest marketing problems that dealers face every month. Look on the screen in front of you. That's a lot to do, right? New and used cars, landing pages, paid search, social media, email campaign. First, at a dealer level, it's hard to do. Speed to market. It's expensive because it requires a human being, right? Then those humans or those dealership employees need to stay up with strategies, stay up with trends, look at the changes, optimize accounts. And unfortunately, most dealerships don't have the luxury of having an experienced staff. So it ends up becoming inconsistent and not proactive. And unfortunately, that will then lead to a lack of accountability, looking at the wrong metrics, and ultimately poor return on investment across your ad campaigns. This is very hard to manage. It is very inconsistent, and it's kind of slow.
Yeah, and James, combine the fact that many of these, if not all of them, could potentially be supported by different vendors. We said it before. It just makes it harder to manage multiple vendor relationships. Obviously, more time, the cost, the expenses with that, they can get out of hand. And then on top of that, just overall efficiency and speed is lost. So again, we really set out to solve that problem in terms of consolidating all of these activities into one simple to use platform. Again, just to help make everything easier to understand and use, and then tack it all, pile it all on with the world-class support and service that we strive to give every dealer. That's the game changer right there. So, James, do you remember early on how you knew that you had something really valuable when you were a dealer?
Yeah, so I had the luxury of being one of the very first dealers on the MPOP with dealer teamwork. And I have a great story. I was at a Ford store, obviously, and I knew I was onto something special or something great was happening because I got reached out to by the region, the Seattle region. And they were curious as to why my results were so good at my store and what were we doing differently. So I told them, I showed them our MPOP pages, I showed them our dynamic paid search, etc. And the next thing you know, I'm speaking all over the Seattle region on how to properly build ad campaigns and how to land traffic in the right spots. And that's when I decided, hey, maybe I should join Dealer Teamwork.
Yeah, and that's where you've touched on these points so much here. Again, just if you want to just run through a few of the key things that you loved.
Well, the things that I loved was first, I remember having conversations actually with you and Sean early on about having a conundrum of where to put all of this traffic I was creating. I'd create social media campaigns and not know where to drive it on my website except for the terrible page I tried to create. So ultimately, this tool, the MPOP, allowed me to create more sales opportunities. It reduced wasted ad spend. I actually used to call Sean and yell at him because he couldn't spend all my money. And then it allowed me to have some control as well and help build ads in real time. It gave me massive competitive advantages, right? Vehicle website landing pages converted at a rate I hadn't seen before, right? And the fact that I could customize them and have spots to to land traffic for my social media campaigns or my paid search campaigns or whatever was massive. And then it also allowed my BDC to send that same message out via email through our email tool. So that was very powerful to me. So Eric, what happened next?
So early on, we knew we had to drive this traffic somewhere, and we wanted to make it the best type of solution possible. So here's an example real quick of just a standard dealership landing page. It's got all the right content. It's got the conversion mechanism built in. Obviously, everything is tracked, optimized from from head to toe. Everything from the on-page and optimization elements, proper content, rich content. It's got video for engagement. Google loves that. It's got everything that we need. I love to say it like this, James. These pages early on, I recognize the fact that they serve as the catalyst of conversion, because while somebody, like we said before, somebody may be doing an unspecified search that is relatively unspecific in terms of the intent. Well, we still have the ability now, even though they're searching for Ford dealer, Jeep dealer, whatever it may be, if we can drive them to a page like this content, this interaction, these on-page elements are, again, they help serve as the driver and the conversion mechanism to be able to get the buyer and the shopper to that next stage. So that's why we really wanted to take it to that next step.
All right, my favorite, create once, publish everywhere, COPE, right? So this is by far my favorite thing about dealer teamwork. And now more than ever, the MPOP is equipped to help you cope with the marketing problems that you face with your marketing at your dealership. How? Simple approach. Again, COPE, you'll hear this over and over again from us at Dealer Teamwork. Create once, publish everywhere. Smart campaigns are built instantly. We distribute them in real time to many places. They're managed by the best and certified account management team in the business. And then the campaign outcomes are managed to deliver the best sales and service opportunities you need at your store to help reach your goals. We want to be there with you to help you reach your goals.
So with that, with that concept, we'll walk you through real quick. This is a real nice, simple example. This is one of our dealers. This is their actual breakdown of their primary marketing channels. And what it shows is the percentage of traffic that it was received from each of them. And this is actually year-to-date data. And again, every dealer, every brand, every location is always different, so it's always unique. But the great thing is, again, the channel examples here include things like organic and paid and social and email. Well, within each channel, you have obviously the sources. So those sources are things such as Google and Bing and Google My Business and so on and so on. Well, each channel contributes to the success of the dealership, obviously, in its own unique way. And again, by simply connecting that dealer's brand to the buyers, wherever they may be.
And Eric, let's be real, okay? 90% of car buyers begin their journey online, right? Their shopping journey is going to begin on the internet. So car dealers need to ensure that their vehicle and service offers are in the places that shoppers are, and shoppers are online. So Eric, I actually thought of a question, right? What happens when a dealership takes one of these channels away?
Yeah, great question, James. So when you remove any of these channels, just remove one, you run the risk essentially of missing new and returning customer opportunities. So this is the way I like to look at it. Think of it as a diversified ad portfolio, just like a well-balanced financial portfolio. You always want to have obviously a balanced approach so you can lower the risk and take advantage of as many opportunities as possible. Well, the same approach applies when you're managing your ad budget. So it just meshes perfectly with that approach.
Eric, also though, the opposite is also true. If you put way too much money into one channel, you risk the valuable ad budget you have, or wasting some of that valuable ad budget, or not getting enough from that budget, leaving money on the table. So as a dealer, I would never spend all my money on advertising to just one channel, like TV or billboard or Facebook. I wanted opportunities from all my channels, and I certainly wouldn't put all my money into just one stock, to go back to your portfolio example. So as much as I love Ford, everybody knows I bleed blue, I wouldn't be doing great if I put all of my family's assets in Ford all the time.
Exactly. You're spot on. So that's basically everybody how the MPOP helps dealerships maximize that marketing spend, that hard-earned money, and maximize the performance. So it makes it easier to build this omnichannel approach, and again, to create once, publish everywhere, to the most important marketing channels you have as efficiently and effectively as possible. And this consistency of a plan within the plan helps build the trust of your dealership brand as well, because of that consistent and accurate message throughout all of your marketing channels. So everybody, we love your feedback. We listen very closely to all of our dealers. We welcome more of that from you guys.
Yeah, we absolutely love dealer feedback. It is one of the things that drove me to come to Dealer Teamwork. And most of our best ideas within the platform come from our dealers. They come from people like Tim Bart's on the call right now, right? They come from you, and then we take those suggestions extremely seriously, and then we say, what do you want to see? What type of problems are you faced with? How can the MPOP improve even more? If you have a suggestion, please drop us a message, share it with your account manager, or do me a personal favor and text Sean at 2 a.m. He absolutely loves that, but don't get mad when Sean calls you back at 2:02 a.m. That's on you.
Yeah, dealers have given us so many great ideas for ad campaign formats, landing page feature and functionality, workflow processes, and just so much more that's all baked into the MPOP. So we love that feedback. These are the ideas that help us continuously improve the platform, and the end result is just being able to make sure that your campaigns perform better and that your dealership is able to reach their goals. And all of these new MPOP releases that we have, again, they help us improve so we can make better decisions for you guys, help create better ads via automation process, make it easier to measure, and just, again, drive better results. So we've got so many parts of the release that tie into driving these results, things such as the Google My Business portion, SEO, content, ad campaign structures. Again, bottom line is, everybody, it's faster, stronger, better results, and again, just easier for you, the dealer, than ever before. And we love to say this, there's, at this point, with all of these updates that we've got, there's literally no excuse for any dealer now to not have all of their new and used inventory fully merchandised, meaning prices, multiple payments, APRs, incentives, accurate disclaimers, your CTAs, everything with the payments included as well. So that's where we're at in terms of these new updates. Again, super excited about this. It's awesome to see the growth of the platform based on people like yourself and the feedback that dealers give. So we thank you tremendously for taking the time. We reach out. We've got our contact info on the slide. If you're a current customer and you're on the webinar today, again, if you have questions, want to see more, have other feedback for us, please reach out to your account team. And if you're on the call today and you're not a customer, we would love the opportunity to work with you. We'll do a market audit for you. We'll do some analysis for you. Again, we'll start a conversation and give you a full product overview as well, and show you how the platform can help integrate in with whatever processes you have, regardless of the brand, location, the size of dealership. This is not limited to any individual organization. It's agnostic to every platform. So with the ability for us to work with everybody is there. So again, we thank everybody for your time today, and we look forward to seeing you on the next Dealer Teamwork webinar. Thank you very much. Stay safe out there.
Thank you, everybody. And anybody on the call today will get a copy of this deck emailed to them right after the call. So we'll make sure everybody gets that. Thanks again. We appreciate you all, and stay safe out there and sell a lot of cars, please.
Thanks, everybody.